What's up, guys? Do you feel lucky here, bringing you a brand new video on Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Today I'm here to talk about competitive battling. Now, from what I can tell, there isn't too much information out there on this, so I figured, hey, I might as well make a video and hopefully inform you guys a little bit more to help you do a little better on the competitive battlefield in this game. You know, I don't know if it's a huge thing, but if you want to try it out, it can be a little overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. And it can be a little discouraging if you go in there and just completely get your ass handed to you, and it just makes you maybe not want to try it again because, well, hey, how am I supposed to be as good as this guy if there's no information out there for me? There's a few things I want to cover. First is the level of your Digimon and like their rank. So as being, rookie, champion, ultimate, or mega. Second is the ABI, which is a stat in the game, which is kind of confusing and they don't really go over. Third is types. So what Digimon should you prepare? What should you have in your party? Whether it be, because there's data, vaccine, and virus, and is also neutral. And then each of those have each Digimon is like a subclass of, almost, I'd say, compared to like Pokemon, of fire, grass, and water, and they're more, obviously. The next thing is, which stats should you concentrate on? So whether it be attack or speed or intelligence, and maybe kind of what each of those does and what they're for. And last is, how to get your Digimon concentrated in these certain things. Like, how do you level them up? How do you level these certain stats? What is the best way? What is the quickest way to go about it? So, like I said, first thing I'm going to go over is level. Now, level isn't a huge deal because all you need to do is get your Digimon up to level 50. And you can go in, your Digimon should be able to be battle fine. But the next part is going to be, should it be a rookie, a champion, ultimate, or mega? I wouldn't recommend going in with a rookie or a champion. It's possible if you build it right, but it is a lot harder. I would definitely recommend an ultimate, and at the best, I would definitely go mega. Mega is obviously going to have the most versatility and the most moves and the strongest moves to have out there. And so that's pretty basic. Now the next thing that I want to touch on is the ABI. The ABI is kind of a confusing stat. It does go over it as you're playing through the game, as you're progressing through the story. Basically, what I would say, it's the quality of your Digimon. Now, it's kind of a pain to level up the ABI. The best way to do it is basically you would level your Digimon, Digivolve it all the way through, and that will raise it up X amount. But it's not going to go up past a certain amount. The way to get it higher is you actually Digivolve your Digimon, and that will actually significantly raise it. From what I have done myself, is the higher you raise the Digimon's level, the higher the ABI will go up when you Digivolve it. I'm pretty sure there's a limit onto how much it will go up each time, and how many levels you do, but I'm not positive on what that is. And I know it does raise a little bit when you do Digivolve them if you go over the required level for it to Digivolve. But the quickest way for sure is to raise it up past that, or raise it up and then up all the way to, I mean, not even have to go max level, but a significant level, and then Digivolve it, and that will significantly raise it. Now, do all of them have to be 100? I would say no, but I would say 90 plus is definitely going to be beneficial. No, but do you have to have the ABI perfect? No, but I would recommend it. Now, the third thing to prepare yourself for is going to be the types. Now, with me right now, I have Leviamon, who is a virus type. Now, if you've played through the game, I'm pretty sure you know the basic three, which is virus, vaccine, which is what Mastermon is, and then data, which is Jesmon. Now, the way the tiering works is virus is strong against data, and Data is strong against Vaccine, and Vaccine is strong against Virus. And obviously, they resist going the opposite way. So, Virus resists Data, Vaccine resists Virus, and Data resists Vaccine. And those are basically the three basic types. Now, there are subtypes to which, so like, Leviamon is, or well, actually, I just went into Jesmon. So his attribute is neutral. So he doesn't actually have a type. So there is nothing that is strong nor weak against him other than that. But the better example would be, which I wanted to do, was Leviamon, is water. Now, there, from what I can tell, there are three other subtypes that can branch off. So there's the three which are water, fire, and grass. So that works almost exactly like Pokemon, like the Pokemon starters, I would say, if you've played Pokemon before. So water is strong against fire, fire is strong against grass, grass is strong against water, and they each resist each other. Now, those don't matter as much as virus, Data, Vaccine, but they can come in handy when you're in a bit of a clinch and, say you have a virus Pokemon going against a vaccine. I said Pokemon going against a virus going against a vaccine Digimon, so that's your attacks are going to be weak, but say its move is water and the other one's is fire, so you will actually be able to do quote unquote super effective or 1 or 1.5 to 2 times extra damage against it. And that's all something to keep in mind. Now, I would definitely recommend, at least if you're going to build some sort of a team, having at least one of virus, one of vaccine, and one of data, just to cover all your bases. The subtypes aren't really going to matter that much, but it's nice, it's something to keep in mind if you need to. Now, the next part, this is where it kind of really gets confusing, because you get all these stats. You got your HP, your SP, your attack, your defense, your intelligence, and your speed. Now, your HP is pretty straightforward. That's how many hit points you have until the Digimon's going to die in battle. The SP, which is, I'm assuming, is your special points, is the amount you have to use your skills. So his special move is Biting Crust, which uses 25 SP each time you do it. So basically, you can use it almost 6 times. You can use it 5 times and you'll be out, but then you can have a little more and you can use some of these smaller moves. Now, attack is the amount of, I believe it's like almost, it works like Pokemon where it's a physical special split. So your attack and intelligence. So attack would be physical and intelligence would be like a special move. So the Biting Crush says physical attack. So that would go off of your attack stats. Next is your defense. So it's basically, the amount of damage the amount of damage you can take, how well you're going to take damage. Intelligence, I believe, is like I said before, is like your special. So if this ocean wave is it's okay, so it's a magic attack. So that would go off of your intelligence and how much your damage would multiply. And finally is speed. Now, speed to me seems to be the most pertinent stat. Now, everything else, it matters, but from what I can tell, speed is definitely the one that matters most, because it actually allows you to attack more. The faster your Digimon is, the more it's going to be up in the lineup to actually go and attack and use its moves. So speed is definitely the one I would say should be the main priority of most of the Digimon. So your faster Digimon are definitely going to do better. That said, I'm sure if you have a higher defensive one and it can take the hits or it has more HP, it can definitely sit there and take the hits from the faster ones and then come back and do a really strong attack. But that depends. From what I can tell, like a lot of the times, like his Biting Crush move doesn't do too much. Although his benefit is where it says 15% of instantly killing the target. Now there are items that can prevent that, but that's a discussion for another time. So it's all confusing. Now, with all this information, it's kind of overwhelming. Now, the real question is, how do you get your Digimon to invest in all these stats, and what do you do to do all this? How do you raise all this? How do you do this? What's the quickest way to do that? Well, there are plenty of videos out there. I haven't seen one. It's, the best way that I can see, that I have found and that I've seen most people do, is they obtain this Digimon right here, Platinum Numamon. I'm not going to go too in depth to this, but I'm sure if you're playing and you're looking to be competitive, you basically know the gist of this. But basically, his ability increases experience burned after each battle, and also these items, the Tactician USB does the same effect. So he has 3 slots. So I have 3 of them in here. So every time I put him in battle with 2 other really strong Digimon, and then I just go through, and I get probably about 50k experience just from him. Now, I do that in my grinding spot, which I can show you. I'll show you right now. Is actually, if you've gone through the game, is in the final building. Right towards the top, which you can you can go back and forth. You can use the lady, I can't think of her name, but the lady detective to transfer you here, even if after you beat the game and you just go down the elevator once and you have access to this port to go back into the Digilab, and you can just run around and run into Digimon and just grind out levels, which, I mean, it goes really quickly if you do it. So that's definitely the best way to gain levels and get experience and go through, and that's going to be your best way to raise up Digimon to increase your ABI and go through like that. Because, as you can see, I have a few that are, all ABI 100 that are with me. He's 99, so I mean, one off, but that's not going to matter too much. And she's 100, he's 100, he's 100. So I mean, it's a pretty effective method. Now, the next thing is going to be the stats. So, as how am I going to raise my speed stats? So I want my Digimon to be faster than everybody else's. So, I want my Beelzemon, who already has a high base speed, to be faster than everybody else's. What's the best way to do that? Well, there's 2 ways to go about it. First is the Digi Farm. Let me just grab my items here. So basically, you would put a Digimon in the farm, and you would go, and so you go to command, and then you train your Digimon. I mean, it's all pretty basic stuff. So you hit train, and you have your 3 courses. The best one to do is a tough course. It takes 30 minutes, and it raises the stats significantly. Now, if you want to do certain stats, you have to go off of the Digimon's personality type. So basically, if you wanted to raise defense, you obviously would go with a defender. And, a fighter is attack, brainy is intelligence, nimble is speed. I can't think of the other ones, but it's you can pretty much guess by the names. It's pretty easy. Now, that's the easiest way to do it. Well, I shouldn't say the easiest, but it's going to be the most accessible way. Now, after you beat the game, there is another way to do it. I mean, you will actually get some of these items throughout the game. Now, it's these items right here. They're 100,000 yen a piece, so they're kind of pricey, and it could, you're going to run out of money real quick if you buy a bunch of these to do this. But as you can see, as you go through, grinding and beating the game, I have, over 1 million yen, so it's not a big deal. So now, each of these raises a certain stat, basically by, I believe, 10 each time. Well, the HP goes by 100 and every other stat goes by 10. So, the mushroom goes HP, the melon does SP, attack, defense, intelligence, speed. And so, I mean, it's pretty, this is a pretty quick way, and you would just go in, and to use them, you would actually also go back into the and just feed the Digimon these items. So you'd hover over Ravemon, and I don't know if I have it. So I have Mental Melon, so I could raise his SP by feeding this. Now, this is actually also where ABI would really come into the factor of why you'd want a higher ABI. The higher ABI is, the higher you can raise your Digimon stats with those items or through training. So basically, 100 ABI Digimon is going to be able to gain more stats than a 20 ABI Digimon. And that's really where most of the advantage is going to come in if you really go through and train. So basically, the biggest thing is just going to be grinding out your Digimon to get them ready. So basically, it's going to be grinding them up. All I would do is I would grind my Digimon up to, mega level, and then I would jump in between. I would get to mega, level them up, to say about 50, de-digivolve them into ultimate, grind that up past the level requirement to digivolve back into the mega form and go, and then repeat the process. That works pretty quickly. Doing the Platinum Numamon method with the experience, it's pretty much nothing. It's a pretty much mindless task. So it's not like you couldn't do something else and concentrate, watch a video on YouTube or whatever you want to do, listen to music and just do that mindlessly to get them up there to get your Digimon ready. And once you do that, you're pretty much good to go. I mean, so basically to kind of repeat and go over some of this stuff. You want to make sure your Digimon is at least level 50 before you go in there. Recommended to have also be mega level. Your ABI doesn't always matter, but the higher it is, the better it's gonna be, and the more stats you can add. So basically, if you have 100 ABI, you're gonna be able to get more stats. So you could invest every one of those extra stats into speed, and you can just have your Digimon faster than the guy you're battling and have him attack 3 times before he could even attack you once. It's definitely good to keep in mind your type matchups. So you definitely want to know what's Digimon is going to be stronger against each one, so you can have a plan of attack for each type. And obviously keep in mind, like I said, speed is definitely seems to be the priority here, from what I can tell, because it's it allows you to attack more. I mean, yes, being stronger is good, but if you can attack more, you're obviously going to do more damage. And, and obviously I already went over the methods to level it up. So, I really hope this helps you guys and maybe allows you to be a little more competitive and, actually beat some people and go up in the rankings. I mean, I am definitely by no means an expert in this, so if you guys have any more information, or if I am incorrect on something, or you can improve on, please comment down below and help everybody else out. Let's make sure everybody has a good time in this game. I've really enjoyed it so far, and I'd love to see everybody else continue enjoying it and maybe actually kind of get the word out there. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you actually use this information to become a little more successful, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.